Salutations all, this is Christy Thomas and this is for Intro to Interpersonal Communication. This is just a quick clarification video discussing more detail on what I'm looking for the assignment. I know I did put it in the announcements and I also discussed it in the video clip that I made for week 5, but I just really like putting information out there and trying to make everything as easy to find and navigate. This is week 5, so we're going over perception in our book, which is out of our course test, which is chapter 3. And when you get to the chapter 3 info under the Foundations of Interpersonal Communication Foundation content folder, it's labeled as chapter 3 and perception. There's a few different videos that one's recent that I recorded it last week, and there's also some previously recorded videos. Anyway, let's get on to the assignment. I also provided the link. I believe I put this in the discussion board link, but I tried to put the link when you first get onto Blackboard page. There was some confusion last week where I placed them in the content folder under the chapter lessons and reviews. So I'm going to try to place the assignments in a more, when you click right on into Blackboard, it kind of pops up underneath when I post the videos for that week. I'm also going to try to provide the links for the assignments around there too, just to make it a little easier, because I know sometimes it can be a little confusing when you're having to search here and there. So anyway, this is perception and this is people watching. This is a fun little activity. Now, there's a few ways you can go about this. I gave the example of supernatural in the one video. So you can people watch in real time. What I mean by real time, you can do this in everyday life. Perhaps you have a job and you can people watch, or you can people watch, perhaps your family gets together and they do stuff, or maybe you go to sporting events of those natures where you can actually people, or you go and eat lunch or have dinner or go on dates, or maybe you eat on campus and stuff, but you can people watch it. And when I say people watch, you don't have to make it obvious, like I'm going to stare you down and I'm going to write about you. No, just kind of, it's a casual thing. If you choose not to do it, because some of us, you could be up in your house and not really get the opportunity to leave much just because of, the situation. You can also, or I know people are homebodies, which is ain't nothing wrong with that. You can choose to people watch a television series or a film. I said film franchise, but you could probably do just a film too. So the basis of this for the people watching, this will require several paragraphs. Again, it doesn't have to be a big essay. You don't have to do pages upon pages, but several paragraphs. If you people watch in real time, you could just talk about interactions that you see. Perhaps you see somebody by themselves at first, and then they meet up with a friend or a group of friends, and you can just talk about their interactions. Like, solo, they were like, they emoted or projected this, but as friends, or their company started to arrive, this is what the atmosphere changed. Maybe they seem shy and quiet, and then as people come into the picture, you could talk about how they become boisterous and loud and happy. Or if, maybe you're watching, if you see someone on a date or something, maybe there's their interactions. Oh, okay, it's a little awkward at first. Maybe it's a blind date or like a first date type situation. And you just talk about the interactions. They seem happy, they seem angry. Perception is just what we perceive in the world around us. By selecting what we focus on. So I want you to focus on mannerisms and what they're putting out in the world. Because you may or may not know them personally. If you're in a home setting, and you choose to watch, do your family, maybe they do family dinners, or you get together, or there's some event. When I say event, a birthday party or something, and everybody, is together, maybe you watch and be like, well, singularly, this family member acts this way, but around this certain family members, they change their demeanor. Or if they're with this, they change. And it could be because they change because, well, I saw them interact with a 7-year-old, then I saw them interact with a 17-year-old, then I saw them interact with, their great-grandmother. So perhaps you can talk about how the perception of this person, your perception of this person changes based off how their interactions with others are. Now, if you do a series, I did Supernatural as the first one, but you can choose any series old or new, I suggest you watch a couple episodes of it. Or if it's something that you binge watch and is part of like your repertoire, I cannot talk because it's Monday. It's in your rotation of favorite shows. Like I have a few shows that I watch and I probably have watched so many times over, I could reenact the entire show from the very first episode to the end of the series. You can talk about that character. You choose a certain character. So, I did Supernatural. I'll do Ghost Whisperer in this one. Love that show. Love the wardrobe in that show. Easily distracted. Sorry. Let me get back to it. Melinda is the main character in the show. And she has interactions. She has interactions with the character, her husband, the shop, her business partner in the beginning, and then her business partner later on in the series. And then she also has interactions with a few other characters that come out of play in and out of the series. So you can discuss maybe the first few seasons. Okay, so here's her, and here is how I perceive her as a solo, as herself, and then this is how I perceive her being around others. Okay, well, based off the interactions between her and her husband on the show, this is my perception. She's flirty, she's loving, she's very open, and she's, I don't want to say dependent, but she is very much, she's thankful, because he knows her gift and he accepts her. So that creates a bond of trust and love between the two of them. And, her interactions with her co-worker they own the business together in the first season or so. Their interactions. She knew her gift and secret. So she understood her to, when she ran off, a lot of people thought she was flighty or scared because she was running off, or she was forgetful, or, her attention, she was inattentive because she was always running off to go help someone. But the shop owner knew her gift and didn't think that about her. They thought she was perceived as strong and caring and helpful. So you see what I'm saying here with the perceptions? And you can choose films too. You can choose a film franchise and base the character on their evolution throughout the film. Perhaps you choose the Twilight series, the evolution of Edward or Bella, or Bella's dad, or any of the Collins. You can just use them as your basis throughout the series, or you can just choose the film itself. Okay, the newest Ghostbuster film, although it's part of a franchise, this particular Afterlife Ghostbusters film, it came out many years after the Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2. So you could talk about the perception, of the main characters, which are the kids, or you could talk about their mom and the perception of her, and then throughout the film, how that perception changes based off the information that we're given and all that. That's all I'm saying here with people watching. So it doesn't have to be this elaborate, long essay, numerous pages. And you can do this in real time with real people. You can choose a television series or film. If you choose a series or film, let me know what it is at the top. Like, this is my people watching for Supernatural. This is my people watching for Manifest. This is my people watching for Gilmore Girls, or da-da-da-da-da. And you can kind of be like, so say you chose Gilmore Girls, and you're like, I'm going to base my perception off of Rory. You say Rory in the earlier seasons, or you can just do kind of like a really summarize her evolution of perception throughout the entire series. Now you can also, and then tell me what film you choose. I choose Harry Potter, and I'm going off of Hermione. Or I'm choosing Lord of the Rings, and I'm using Sam. Or Gollum. My nerd card's going to be, it's going to be taken away from me if I don't get these names right. Anyway, that's all we're doing for this week. And again, that's not due until Sunday at midnight on February 13th. I got the month right. I keep wanting to say January, even though we're almost halfway through this month. Crazy. All right, folks, if you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to me and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Again, the link to this will be on that front page under the kind of the information, and I'll post this link underneath the assignment link for this week. I hope you all have an amazing week. Thanks so much. Bye.